Hi, everyone. Starting just about a minute early. I've got a lot to get through tonight, so hopefully I don't keep you too long. Um, I hope all is well with everyone. Haven't seen anybody in a while, haven't been in chats or anything. Sorry, I started watching Call the Midwife, even though I've seen it before. I just tend to get really, really hooked on it. Like I can't put it down like a good book. Only I don't have to read. So, um, got a lot more birthday cards. I'm telling you, I've never had so many birthday cards probably in my whole lifetime as I got this year. So I thought that I would go through those and hopefully everybody can hear and see me okay. I know that with the particular software that I use, it doesn't tell me for sure if I'm live. I guess I could check my phone, huh? But it does let me see the chat. So let's see if I live or am I not? YouTube, me, view channel. Yep, I'm live. Okay, cool beans. So thought I'd get through the happy mail first. So this is whoops, my little Y got turned upside down here. This card, um, very cute. This is from Heather Wang out of Oregon, which I thought was cool because she sent me like, coastal type stuff. And then this is neat. Look at how this is done. Can you see that? So she took and put and this looks like it's on a piece of chipboard. Um, and it was the only part with color. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Maddie. This is from Stephanie Walter. I've been getting cards from her for quite some time. This one is from Ellen Card Monkey Jarvis. Let's see if I can get it out of here. The ones that have stuff in them, I leave in the envelope because otherwise I tend to look at that adorable, adorable card. I love Anita Jerem. Her stuff is so cute. And then inside, she put this little glittery flying monkey. And if she only knew my story about flying monkeys. Um, so flying monkeys are kind of like if you think of like Mean Girls, and there's the queen bee, and then her little sidekicks are the flying monkeys. So that's how I think of flying monkeys. But very, very cool. And of course, I'm not sending that on to anybody else. I don't do that. So, and this one, oh shoot, now the envelope's stuck to it. Come on, come off of there. Some people seal their envelopes like Fort Knox. This one is from Vanessa Keela, and looks like she had a really cool like cover plate and put it over that teal colored paper, and then this beautiful little flower. A little note inside. Vanessa Cole. I can't pronounce the last name, but this is all stuck together. Let me do that. This one is from Pam, also known as PJB Stamper, in our chat tonight. Yeah, it does go back to the Wizard of Oz for sure, and the witch's flying monkeys who spied on Dorothy and her friends. This is really cute. I love this paper with a nice note inside. Time to celebrate with cake. Anything on the back? Nope. Oops. Sometimes people's address is on the back. This is from Gloria Davis, and this is cool. This is a little window card. Let me see if I can get it to open. There we go. She put this little note inside, just like a little. This is a cool sticky note. It's personalized and everything. Gloria, where did you get that? I need those. And so here's the inside of the card. But very cool little peekaboo card with a super cute little, I guess it's a rabbit flying a kite. I guess it's a rabbit. I need to find out from Gloria where these sticky notes come from, where she got custom notes. And this one here is from my friend Chow. Look at how pretty. Keep your heart forever young. Yes, I'll take that ticket. Wishing you a happy birthday. Thank you, Chow. Almost there. This is from Dawn Simpson. We also know her on Prafulette as Quasi Kitty. And with a really lovely note inside. Really cute. Nice and simple. I love it. Pattern paper. This one is from Shanna. Shanna Makes It. Oops, and the sticker came off. Oh, this came off the back. Okay. And she knows my heart. I love the grunge. She did a good job on that too. Got all the little grungy stuff. The note inside. Okay, this is my card making kit sampler from Kendra. It's not a birthday card, but it's pretty cool. I like this paper right here. Well, let's scan that and see what we know, what we can find out about that paper so you guys can see how these work. Let's get my camera, see if it'll scan. Scan. Or not. Oh, my camera's not in the mood for scanning tonight. Oh, that's sweet, Dawn. Anyway, so I don't know where this paper is from, but it's pretty cool. And I do love these kind of embossed leaves. I need those too. Let's see here. This one I think is from Allie. Yep, Allison Cope. And what's cool is I got two cards from Canada today with actual stamps on them. Oftentimes when I get something from Canada, it'll just have like a stampity stamp. I think I moved it. Did I? I think I moved it. Yeah, I did. And pedaling by with a birthday surprise. This is a neat little touch right here. I like that. So that's like glued onto there. So it makes it look like there's today's all about you. Happy birthday. Um, it looks like it's been embossed. Look at this one with the little hedgehogs. This one is from Susan Rushton. How cute. And just a little birthday message. This one, let me just get the envelopes out of there. This one's from Donna Lander. And it's a gatefold card. Very cute with the lemons. I like lemons. Very cool. I like that. And then this one is from Sire. And check this out. A man after my own heart, okay? Oops. He put a little note in here, and it's a very, like, on paper note, right? So it leaves the inside blank, but I think it's blank. This looks like a paper towel. And so I love that because I hate wasting, like when I'm spraying my inks and stuff with a paper towel, I hate wasting that. So very cute card. Thank you, Sire. So that's it for the Happy Mail tonight. I have 3 more stacks like this that I've already shown you guys. It's amazing. Amazing. So if you follow me, you know that I was on the Trinity Stamps Hop today for both Instagram and YouTube, and I wanted to share my haul and my makes because I made samples of most things. So I wanted to show you. And I did not purchase any of this. This is all sent to me by Trinity Stamps. We'll start with the Kokeshi dolls. And if you watched my hop this morning, my hop video, you already saw these cards. And so I actually have four of them. I didn't quite finish this one. The Star Wars bun one is my favorite, but it's just a standalone die set. And I found that, well, a lot of people put their dies on magnets, but I found if all my dies are on magnets, the little container that I keep them in is too heavy for me to lift. It hurts my wrist. So I've just started putting the dies in little Ziploc bags. So get that one out of the way. And I have them all in this little box here. And this one here is the Happy Day stamp set, and it's got coordinating dies. And what I made was this little card right here. And what I did was I stamped out all the little pies. So this is the stamp right here. Oops, let me get that so you can see it. There's a stamp right there. Oh, thank you, Gloria. Thank you so much. And so I stamped all these out, and I stamped them out with GinaK amalgam in a brown. Um, I only have her amalgam in a brown and black. Oh, and I have it in Whisper. But let's see, this is called Chocolate Truffle. And so that it would be alcohol marker friendly, I colored these in with my Ohuhu markers. And I actually put all the colors on the back because I may do a video with this one. I haven't decided yet. But I put all the colors I used. And I colored in all the pies. And then I colored in the background. And then I put the little dots in with the white pen. And then this is from the one You Want a Piece of Me is from this set here. This is from the mini pie set that I'll show you shortly. I loved doing this. This was so much fun. It took forever, but it was fun. I liked it. And I don't have to keep these in order. Okay, so we've got this little guy, and there are two that look the same, but one's a shaker and one is not. This is a stamp and die set called Life is Gourd, and it's got the Happy Halloween and Life is Gourd. And I made my little gnome be a redhead and on both of them, and the reason why, you guys, is because I am like completely enamored by red hair. Like, I don't care what shade of red. If you're a redhead, I'm staring at you. And it's not because of anything other than just the red hair. Just, I don't know what it is about it, but it just takes me there. And then, okay, let me put this. I'm trying to put these in order of which I made them. This is the full moon coordinating die set and stamp set. See, I have the dies not stamp, but stencil. And I didn't use the stencil except for on the moon. And what I did was I took our cupcake shape card, and then I cut this circle out because there's a circle die. So I made the moon, cut it out of some glittery paper, and it's stuck to like between two. And then I colored the color, spit it out, colored everything with with my Ohuhu markers. And yeah, the more I use those, the more I love them. And then cut these out of some glittery paper from Michael's. Okay. Now this is a big combination. This is the half pint jar. And so there's a 6x6 stencil, there's a coordinating die, and there's a stamp set. And you can do all kinds of fun stuff with these. What I did is what I wanted to do is I made a shaker jar full of eyeballs and worms because I just love to do that. So this is with some of our new little shakers. You can't really see what color they are until you get to the top of the jar because I used some alcohol ink to create the like the color like the inside of a specimen jar might be. And then I used some glossy accents and then colored them with alcohol ink so that they would be green too. Yeah, creepy goodness. Absolutely. But I mean, this jar is going to be great for any occasion. And Carrie made the most amazing light up card with the little fireflies. It's so cute. Okay, and this is I Love You a Latte. And it is a standalone die set. And I made it on a clear card base. And I used some of my paper that I showed you guys that I made. Um, with sticking my vinyl to 65-pound paper. By the way, that foils. If you follow me on Facebook, you'll have seen that. So I've got the red vinyl here, I've got some pink vinyl here, and then colored the cup with my markers. Hi, Lori. Um, and then I did, of course, the inside and the back so that it all kind of matches together. And these are the little, gosh darn it, what's the name of these? Hang on, I'll get them out. What are they called? They're from Trinity. They are called Sparkle Spots. And what's cool about these, especially if you're doing a clear card, is they sparkle on both sides. So you see, if I'm using a clear glue and I put them on that clear card, you're not seeing something funky on the other side. You're seeing sparkle. So I had a lot of fun making this one. Okay, next. And this is it's a stamp and die set. I think I only stamped the coffee cup though. Everything else I cut out. And then next up we have our pumpkin shape die set. And so this cuts out a pumpkin shaped card. Let's see if I have any more. Yep. Okay, and then the jack-o'-lantern face, and it's got a little candle. And here's my little shaker. And you'll see a video for this one at the end of the month on Trinity Stamps. So I always have Trinity Stamps playlist so that my videos from there you can watch still. And anyway, I made him a little shaker and just colored the pumpkin and cut out the shape of that little Life is Gourd guy. And then I cut the white part off of him so that there would be space around it. So there was fussy cutting involved in that. So I did that one with that set. And then I did this one, which is more not Halloween, but Thanksgiving. And this one I did with some of my handmade weird paper that I posted on Instagram the other day. And what I did was I pasted it down to some cardstock, and then I embossed it with an embossing folder. And then these little guys are from this die set. I tend to grab these plants a lot because they cut out very nice. That's the pegboard shelfie die set. But that's just kind of a more traditional Thanksgiving type card that I did with the pumpkin shape. And I just did that one today. So a lot of these you might see. And here's the actual die that cuts out the card. I'm going to leave that in here. And then here's the tiny pies that you saw on this card. And I made it an orange pie. I want a chocolate pie, but I can't have one, right? But I like these. These are handy, and these you could use for anything too. Okay, now I did not do anything with this set yet, but this is the Scarecrow Gnome. And so it's got a corn die set that cuts all of these out. It's got the little scarecrow and the two little corn stalks and the little bird. So there's that guy. And I haven't made a sample with that one yet. Okay, here's Web Designer, and Web Designer is cute. It's got a cute spider, and it's got a coordinating die. And I paired that with this shaker set, which is the tip and sip coffee shaker. And I made this little shaker, and these are fun because there's the shaker bits, but then you can shake them up here and they get caught in a little channel. Well, mine don't want to shake because probably me and my glue, but anyway, the little spider swings. The background, I used a Trinity stamp stencil, which is like a checkerboard stencil, and then I used the hearts from this stamp set to place little brown hearts in all the in-between places. And then I made the little heart on his back orange instead of red so that he, seemed a little bit more friendly. Okay, we're getting there. And there's the Halloween. This is the Halloween die set, Simply Sentimental. So it cuts out the die and the shadow, or the word and the shadow from all these Halloweens. And then it'll also cut these stamped images out. And then and here's the die set. Then there are all these little individual sentiments that you can put with it. And we're getting there, y'all. Oh, I haven't done this one yet either. I did use this part though on this. So I used this little wavy part to cut this little piece of vellum out. She was screamed about the spider, and I love spiders. I mean, I don't like them with me in the room, but I like looking at them, from a distance. So there's this Oh My Pie die set, and that goes with the circle shaped card. And let's see who did. Well, I know Carrie did a sample of this. I'm not sure who else did. I watched the hot, but that was all the way this morning. Okay, now this pumpkin candy bucket set. You guys, I love this set. And I made this slimline card, and I made gummy worms, and I'll tell you how I did those. Because they look like actual gummy worms. Let me get you up close. Hi, Gaz. Oh, hi, Gloria. Um, so it comes with everything you need to cut out all the candies. I didn't do the candy corns. I was just too lazy. I didn't want to because I spent a lot of time working on these gummy worms. And what I did was I took the type of acetate that I use, which is actually not acetate, it's something else, but it's like acetate and works like acetate, and I call it acetate. And I squirted it down with rubbing alcohol, and then I used my alcohol inks, not my pens, but my inks to blow. I looked at gummy worms online, and I just blew color in what I'd seen in the gummy worms that I'd seen online. So I love, love, love. Hi, Teresa. Love, love, love those gummy worms and this particular die set. Is Blossom here? Hey, Blossom. Okay, I've got a big old pile going over here. We're almost through it. So I've been spending a lot of time away working on these. So this is the Oh So Scary Gnome die set. And it has a little witch gnome. It has a little spooky gnome. And I did the spooky gnome. And remember the other night when I did the vellum with the glitter? This is what I used it for. So to make myself a see-through spooky little gnome. And I used also with that this cover plate die, which is this tree set. And what I did was I cut it out twice. And so one of them, I kind of cut off the top. I just wanted the trees across the back. I glued directly down to my background, and the other one is popped up on top. So this tree is pretty cool. And let's see here. What else? What else? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So then we're almost done. Then we have our Hocus Pocus gnomes. And so it's a stamp and die set. And you've got the little wizard and the two little witches, one flying, one with their brew. and dies to cut out everything except for these teeny tiny things. And I created this magical Halloween, have a magical Halloween with one of the gnomes, and I colored it in an oddball color because you don't expect to see a wizard wearing fuchsia, but that was my decision. So, hi Donna. Hey Elizabeth. And then this, what I did was I ink blended the background with, I'm going to say Simon Hurley's Probably Remember Me. It tends to be a color that I choose for sky that I don't want to be quite so blue. And then I used a little bit of sidewalk chalk at the bottom. Go away, little bug. And then I used some white ink with the stencil from Trinity to create those little windy swirls. And then, of course, there's the dreaded glitter on here. All right. And then I think this is it. This is the last one. We also have a 5x7. And I did this with it. So I did just a, an ink blending kind of fall sort of background. And then I did my moon in orange and I colored my little gnome sort of more traditional browns and autumn type colors and used some glitter paper for the background sky. Did I say something about glitter? But this shows you, I mean, this is a 5x7 card, but I've got this little tiny, probably, how big is this gnome? In total, just a smidge over 2 inches, but I managed to work him into a card. So that's the haul, y'all. I think I showed you everything, yeah. And I think we're gonna make something with one of these cover plates tonight. And some of my handmade paper. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this in here neatly. Look at this pile, y'all. Like I said, I have been very busy this week, um, getting all these samples out so that they could be on the website and such. I'll just kind of set them in here gently until I do something more with them. Because I'll probably send some of these cards off to Tunisia so that she can take them to shows with her. Hopefully. Hi, Linda. So I have um, some more of that handmade paper. And I made this in purples. I thought it'd be a beautiful night sky. And what's super cool about this is depending on the color of background you put it on is what you're going to see. So I'll show you, for example, if I put white paper, we're going to have a very kind of more of a lighter background. But if I put it against black paper, we're going to have a very deep dark background. And if I put it against blue paper, it's still deep and dark, but it's got more of a night sky hue to it. So I thought that I would use this for the night sky background. And this is done on just some tissue paper. So I did tissue paper and I did napkins. This one is a napkin. And I wasn't 100% in love with this one, but I did keep it because I'll probably still use it. Um, it's very, very shiny. It's got a lot of mica. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, and if you want, I can show you guys how I did this, and then I can just set that aside to dry and leave the and use this one. Do you guys want me to show you how I did them? I can. Doesn't take that long. Yeah, it'll be a good spring background, that's for sure. Let's do that. Let me do that for you. Let me grab, let me just make a little mess and then we'll carry on. I use this freezer paper. You get lots in here. And it does a couple of things. The main thing it does is it keeps the mist off your mist. So, and I just use my magnets to kind of hold it down. It just so happens that I have my glue and everything out. I didn't put it away just in case I was going to do this. I'll hold that down with magnets. And then I'm going to do the tissue paper. Let me grab a piece. And believe it or not, I'm going to show you. I buy these report covers and they come with a piece of tissue in between each one so they don't get scratched up. Well, I don't want to throw that away. No, no, no. Let me get one that's not folded. Okay, so I've got my piece of paper here. Just going to set it aside. And here I've got a mixture. This is just Elmer's glue and water. I actually made this mixture last year. So it's about 2 parts glue to 1 part water. So here's kind of the thickness. And you'll see when I spread it on. And I like to use this little guy because I'm lazy and hate washing brushes, or I forget. I set the brush aside and I forget, and then I ruin it because I forgot about it. So I'm looking at the size of my paper here, right? I'm just going to spread this glue right onto here, right onto the freezer paper. I don't need it too thick, and I don't care if I accidentally got some color in there. We're not looking for perfection here. Okay. You just want it to be a little bit bigger than your piece of paper that you're going to lay directly down into it. And you guys, some of you have probably seen me do this before. So now I'm just going to take my paper and lay it in that glue. And if you want it wrinkled, you have to wrinkle it. Now, if you're using a napkin, it'll wrinkle all by itself. But this will straighten out. And then you're just going to spread this glue right over top of it. And you want to be generous with it when you're spreading it down so it doesn't rip the tissue. So you see I'm grabbing a whole lot and just making sure that all of it's covered. Okay. And if it rips, you can fix it with an extra piece of tissue paper if you want to. I made this thing of glue last year, and when I got it out, it was still good. Well, it's a little funkified at the bottom, but it wasn't moldy or anything, which surprised me because I'm sure I just used plain water. Just want to make sure it's nice and wet with glue. And then once you know it's nice and wet, you can scrape some of that glue off and just kind of scrape it over to the side. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and use what you have, okay? I'm going to grab my distress sprays. And we're going to do purple just like that. So I'm going to grab the purples that I used. Okay, where's the other one? Dusty Conquers, Seedless Preserves, and Shaded Lilac. And then I'm going to grab my Hocus Pocus and Fortune Teller Distress Mica Stains. And I'm going to grab my Distress Spritz Wilted Violet. I do think Collage Medium would work, Cordelia, but I think it's too expensive. And that's the problem. So I'm going to start with my lightest tone, and I'm just going to spray here and there with this Shaded Lilac. And I'm going to come in with the Dusty Concord. Okay. And then I'm going to come in with the Seedless Preserves. Okay, got my color down. I'm going to add some water. Where's my water sprayer? Okay, there it is. Just to kind of get it moving around. So you're getting this very, very wet, but it's your surface is going to be mostly protected from the wetness because of the butcher paper. So there's some white spots in there that I don't want to be white. So I'm going to come back in with more color. And because it's nice and wet, that color will spread nicely. Let's get some more of this shaded lilac in here. Got a nice blue tint to it. Okay. And then I'm going to give it a spritz with the wilted violet. Yeah, glue and water is way cheaper. Yep, you can use Mod Podge. Use whatever sticky substance you have, but just, I mean, what you're thinking about is your pocketbook. So I'm just spritzing some of this on here, and you can't really see it, and you won't really see it until it's dry. But then I'm going to take some of my Hocus Pocus. I'm going to give it a shimmy, shimmy, shake. Shake it the way you're not supposed to. And I'm going to splatter. And you could splatter with white too, but just keep in mind when you're splattering when it's wet, they don't make actual splatters. They make blobs. So if you want like nice splatter on there, you want to splatter it after it's dry. Okay, and then Fortune Teller, which is probably my favorite distress mica stain. So it's kind of the same color as Seedless Preserves. Now, typically, that's pretty much done. You can move your stuff around. Just, you know, kind of move your paper back and forth. You can set it somewhere flat to dry, or you can take and start to sop up a little bit of this excess. I'm just going to use paper towels and just kind of dab here and there. But you don't want to dab real hard. You don't want to pick up a whole lot of your color. Mostly what you're wanting to do is just pick up some of the excess liquid. So that if you decide to, see what I do is I hang mine on the clothesline. And that's a hot mess right there. Now, can you dip another piece of paper into there? Yes, you can. I'll show you what you get. Because you can trust me when I say I experiment with this stuff. I do. And this is how my hands get gross. So there I've got myself a little instant background. And I can do a couple of those on the super wet spots. So that way you're not wasting it. You've got plenty of colored things to do, plenty of things with. Okay. And if it ends up too light after you've done that, add some more spray, which is what I'm going to do. And then you can just take that whole thing and set it aside somewhere to dry. Takes a couple of hours depending on where you set it. Like if I hung it on my clothesline, what's going to happen is you saw it dripping. It's all going to kind of drip down. If you want it to stay put, you can also take heat to it if you want to. But it takes a long time. It's kind of fun though because when I'll show you just on a corner. Let me find the least wet area here. I'll show you what happens. Let me zoom in a little. Pull my camera over. It does some fun stuff. You know me, I like to have some fun. it'll bubble up. See it starting to bubble there? So that's just kind of the glue underneath bubbling up. But if you take and dry it mostly at the top and leave the rest wet, then you can hang it up to dry because you've got it's going to stick to this paper. But these wettest spots will definitely dribble down if you hang it. So you don't want that. Or you do. It's, you do you. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way so we can carry on now that I've showed you how to make this. And I do like to just come along with my paper towel and kind of just wipe up the wet off the edges. And you can reuse this with your paper. It cleans with alcohol. It probably cleans with water. All right, I'm going to set this over in a whole nother spot. And probably what will happen is these sides will curl up some. And so some will pull back down. And I don't care. That's fine. And you'll see, if you look at the other side, nothing is leaked through. So that's why I like using the freezer paper. Because it keeps, it keeps my surface clean. Okay, back to where we were. Now you know how I made this. And I tore this one a lot. I didn't mean to. Let's find the best side. So it's going to be shiny, but it's also going to be kind of resilient. And let's go ahead. Oh, let me zoom back out so that we're not right in your face. And you can do that with any colors that you love. Hey, Lex. This is tissue paper that I coated. And if you rewind or go back and watch the replay, I just showed how to do it. And this is how it looks when it's dry. So you can still see the mica in there. Cameras don't like to pick up mica very well, but I can definitely see it. And in some cases, you can kind of see it through the other side. I think I'll use this portion right here for my night sky, I think. And I think I'll use it over blue. And so in order to stick this down, now this, I don't know if I want to, this is kind of a textury paper, but I think I'll still use it. And this won't take very long to dry. I'll just set that right there. I like to use my glue stick to stick it down. Ah, you're welcome. So yeah, I've got a wet one sitting over there. And so I'm just going to coat this whole thing with my glue stick. Now, can you use regular glue? Yeah. But if you're planning on embossing this or cutting it down, you want the whole thing glued down so it doesn't come up on you. But it glues down nicely because it's got glue all over it already. Let's see, where did I want to go with that? I think I want to go here. I'm just going to lay this on here. And I'm going to take my brayer and just brayer it down. Okay. Make sure it's all nice and glued down. And I can cut off the excess and put it on other paper and make it into, shapes and things like that. I know, nobody has butcher paper anymore. I bought that roll though like 4 years ago. Longer than that. I bought that back when I was making quilts because it's really great for doing what's called paper piecing, where you have the shapes and you sew the shapes together and end up with, whatever pattern design you're doing. I'm just going to trim off the excess here. You can tear it off too, but I'm not going to. I'll put this aside. I have another piece too that I just used recently on a card. And what I did, and I used napkin for this, is I stamped all over the napkin first, and then I did my colors. So you can do that too. I'm sure wax paper would work. I'm sure it would. Because the main thing is you want this, once it's dry, you want to be able to lift it off the paper. And there's lots of videos, and most of them you'll see they call it faux rice paper, but mostly they do it with napkins that already have designs on them. And yeah, I've got a video from a year or so ago, maybe longer. I don't know. I lose track of time um, of doing this. Okay, so I've got my background here. Let me just, I want some stars in my night sky, but I don't want the whole thing starry. So I'm going to grab my splat box here. Today I was splatting gold, and I was trying a different method than what I normally do, and I ended up with all kinds of gold flecks all over my glasses, and I had a heck of a time getting them off. So you want to be careful with that. So I'm going to just take a piece of paper towel here, and to make sure that things stay kind of organic, I'm just going to tear a piece off because I only want my stars maybe kind of up here. And I think I'm just trying to decide whether I want to use my Dina Wakley gloss spray or yeah, I'll use the Dina Wakley. That is how I made the skin years ago. Yep, the monster skin. And I'm just going to spray this right down onto my surface. I probably should have sprayed it onto something, but that's okay. I'm going to grab my fan brush. We're going to grab a little bit of water, get that nice and wet. And I'm just going to tap on some little specks for my stars. That's enough. I end up wasting more of this than necessary, that's for sure. But the last thing I want is a giant blob on there that definitely won't look like a star. Yes, when I use the napkin, you do peel the layers apart, and you can do the fancy layer too with just the plain glue, or you can tint the glue if you want to, or spray light colored sprays. You can use any kind of water reactive inks, but you want to use a liquid ink or a something that you can liquefy, like Brusho or one of those others. Okay, let me just move this aside and clean that up real quick before I end up with a hot mess. Oops, I accidentally made comets on there. That's okay, we don't mind some comets. I just want to clean that off before it dries because that is a messy business. And if it's stubborn on you, whip out the alcohol. And I keep my alcohol, and this is just cheap alcohol. It's not 90% or anything like that. That'll clean it right up. Oh, they have Amazon has pre-cut butcher sheet? Oh my goodness. Are they expensive? I mean, I don't even know how much that butcher paper is. I bought it so long ago. It was probably about $7 for the giant roll. And when I say giant, we're talking 150 square feet. So it'll last forever. And you can iron fabric onto it, which is cool. Like for applique and stuff like that, if you do that kind of thing. Now I just want to get my brush in a little bit of water so that I don't wreck it. Remind me to take it out of there. 150 sheets of 12 by 12 for 15. Okay, so I mean, I guess that's not bad. And I don't know how much it costs now. Like I said, I bought it years ago and it was probably $7 or so. I'm just going to kind of kind of lay my brush in here and just set it aside until after the video so that you guys don't have to wait for me to go in the bathroom to clean it. Let me show you the progress on this while I'm up. There's the progress so far. So it is starting to run where it's curling, and I'm not mad. I like it. Well, thanks, Elizabeth. I never remember, I hardly ever even remember to put my affiliate links up. I do have them down there in the description box. Okay, so back to our business here. You see I got a little smear going there. I don't think I can wipe it off, so we're just going to leave it. And then I'm going to cut this tree out, and I'm going to cut it out of the blackest black. And this is the Tim Holtz heavy stock black. I'm going to go ahead and cut my tree out with that, my tree line. Let me get a piece of tape. I am going to need to take it over to... Oh, good. Okay, cool, Linda. Thank you. Yeah, go for it. Get it wherever it's cheap. I'm going to tape it because stuff likes to move on me. I'm going to take it over to my Vagabond. For something like this, I like to use my precision chrome precision plate on that. That's what I'm going to do. If I can move this out of my way. Oh no! Avalanche. Cartalanche. All those stacks of cards. Alright, let's get this put together here. Now that sheet I just did, I can emboss it. Maybe I will. Maybe I will, just to show you. Let me get this cut out. Definitely keep this big piece because you can still do little die cuts with it. That's a pretty good chunk right there. Could do your sentiment or whatever. Let me get this mint tape peeled off of here. I have a little embossing folder that is a constellation. I think we'll do that just to see how it looks. I'm just off to the side poking these out so don't get all over my table here. There's not a lot to poke out. I get it going. There we go. There's the correct way. That can go on there like that. But let's emboss that. Let me get the embossing folder. I just saw it earlier. So this embossing folder has these little constellations on it and little suns and things like that. So we use that one. And I don't get them wet to emboss them because it's not really necessary. Tomato. That's what I thought she meant too, or that she was going to a place called Otto's. You know, you never know. Let's go ahead and run this through. So we can bring that out a little bit. Now this is not it probably is a 3D embossing folder, but I only ran it twice. So it didn't emboss too deeply. Plus that I placed this on some very thin paper. But let's bring out those a little bit with some luster wax. And here I've got, I'm going to use silver. Yep, silver. Just going to get a little bit on my finger. Tap it off. I don't want it super thick. And let's just highlight some of those stars. You don't need a lot of this luster wax. It goes a long way. But the more you use, the more intense your stuff's going to stand out. A little bit more on that one, a little bit more on this one. Might as well do these lower ones too, just because we can. So, and then I have to ask myself, can you foil this? Because, I mean, it's not such a porous surface anymore, and you guys know I like to try foiling things, but I'm not going to try that tonight. I wanted to show you, though, up close, the vinyl paper that I make. This is just amazing. I love this foil on here. It looks like ice. So it's just a little bit lighter shade of foil on this darker teal shade, and it looks exactly like ice. So this stuff does foil. And we've got, I tested it with, several colors for Halloween type backgrounds. The black wasn't behaving real well for me towards the bottom, but the other colors did magnificent. So, but this one I was like, whoa, that's going to be such a cool winter background. Okay, back to business here. I know I keep getting sidetracked. So this basically can cover this. We could do the little wizard on there. Yeah, I think we'll do the little wizard. So I'm not going to glue this down just yet. What time do I have? Oh my goodness, I'm running out of time, y'all. I have to work quick on my wizard. Oh, I know. I'll use the die cut wizard. That'll be faster than me trying to color. I don't really want a ghost, though. I want a wizard. Wizard, where are you? See, now I got these all messed up. I don't know where anything is. This is what happens to me. I had one. Okay, good. I do already have one stamped out. Yay. I'm just going to fussy cut it. Let's just color him real quick. Um, okay, I'm going to use B210, B50, B050, B210, and maybe, I think I'll just use, okay, B210, B70, B050. They're probably all together already because it's a combination I use a lot. Okay, what did I say I wanted? B210, B070. Where's B070? Where'd you go? B080. 270. Well, I have put it somewhere. Sorry, I'm quiet here looking through numbers. Where are you, B070? You stinker. Let's see what I have close to it because I can't find it. We'll try V160. Okay, I can't find that one either. Oh, okay. Let's make life easy. We'll grab the cheats. We'll do the purple blend. I know, but it's so worth filling it out. So worth it. All right, so let's go ahead and get him colored in. I think the purple blend is what I used on the other one because see how this is so pink looking. I'm going to color out the hat with the light color first. Let me zoom in a little bit for you guys. Yeah, I think I stamped two of these when I stamped the one for the card I made. I'm going to come in with my dark tone. Okay. A little bit of darkness going over here. Darkness going over here. I have Christmas songs stuck in my head. Now, why is that? Okay, and then we'll do our mid-tone. I am not crazy about swatching at all. It's just not my thing. But I've discovered that it's kind of an important thing. See, these aren't as good as far as, in my opinion, even as they are combined colors that are supposed to work together. They're just not as good as the oh oh hoo. Kind of blend that out. We're not going to color him too spectacular tonight, just a bit. Yes, exactly. Tri-blends work. They get the job done. All right, let's do his little sleeveys. And I prefer the bullet nibs way over the brush tips. I feel like they wear out way too fast. So I feel like even though this says it's a purple blend, to me it's more of a fuchsia blend. And I am working on the Crafty Critta paper. I'm going to use it for alcohol markers until I run out. And it's exclusively for alcohol markers. Because that Express It stuff's expensive. I have Milko or Hammer Mill works also, not too bad, but not the best either. All right, let's get his little shadows in. A little shading inside of his little sleeves. Okay, get his mid-tone going. And the light back on. Oops, I grabbed the dark. Okay. That's also what can happen with the tri blends is you can grab the wrong end. No biggie. Yeah, the swatches are super, super helpful. And especially when you're presented with a challenge like we were the other night on Lynn's channel with that color thing. That was something. That was something. It was real helpful that I had my Distress Oxide swatches. I haven't swatched my Distress inks. I haven't swatched, I don't have that many GinaK inks, so I don't feel like it's necessary. I probably should anyway. Um, I did swatch all of my First Find Claire's. Let's get him some lines going around here. I'll just and listen, I'm doing a coloring rush job because typically I would be done by now. You just use hammer mill? I've never seen the Sweet Sentiments paper. I'm so sad about all these companies closing. It just breaks my heart. We have to do everything we can to support them as we can, you know. I mean, I don't expect anybody to go out and buy something that they won't use or, you know, isn't their style or something like that. Okay, there's Purple Wizard. Let's get his skin colored here. And I have a fair skin blend. So we'll go in with the light first. This is the oddest color of fair skin I've ever seen. But again, you got to remember with alcohol markers, they look kind of weird when they're wet. And then let's do our dark. I'm just kind of dotting it in because it's the brush. Do dark around the hat, dark around the bottom of the nose, do the midtone. There is a dye for the gnome. Yes, Jim. There sure is. Okay. Let's get the water going or whatever that is floofing on over there. Just going to grab this turquoise blend and use the light one. I'm just going to call it water floof. I don't know. Magical floof. Get a little citrus blend and do the moon. And we need to do a little stick. We use the gold brown blend. I need to still organize my Ohuhu markers so that I have them numbered in succession. I have like all the V's together and stuff like that, but you know, I'm in here with this midtone. See what I mean about these brush tips? I don't know if you can see that or not. It's funky. Like it doesn't have a tip to it anymore. Like I can't get a really fine line. Some little sort of little lines going on in here. And we'll call that a day. I'm not even going to bother. Well, I could do his beard real quick. I need my ice gray blend. If he's wearing white gloves, then he's going to need a little bit of shading going on down here and around here. A little shading right there, right there. The outside of his knuckles. Okay. Just do some flicks. If I can get the pen to touch. Shading in there. Diddy dots going on. A little shading right around there. Oh, a little mustachio shading. All right. Oh, you put the hoo-hoos in order? Good for you. Okay, I'll just quickly. I don't like trying to do this with scissors because it's just so much easier with a knife, and especially this kind of knife. I should be using that circly thing instead of turning the paper, but I didn't, so I'm not, so there's that. And I'll have to cut out that one little spoof of water. It can't stay. If ever you're doing this and you lose some of your black, just come back in with a little black, like a watercolor pen. I take these tombos and just come along here and just sort of angle it towards the inside so it brings back my black line. You wouldn't be able to cut this out with a knife? I have a lot of experience. I'm gonna have to lose that little sploof of water too. But here's the thing. I don't want any white edges, so I probably could have just found the die and die cut the whole doggone thing out and then cut around it, but I didn't, so there's that. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. It doesn't. Oops, I forgot to get around his thumb. So see here where I still have some white, I could trim that off, or I could just take my little Tombow marker and make it a thicker line. You do want to be careful when you're doing that though, that you don't accidentally go too far. Just take your time. Like it never happened. All right, I'll cut the rest with scissors. Yeah, well, steady hands is, yeah. Don't mess around if your hands are unsteady. So whenever I've cut out centers like that, I'll cut the big parts out first because I don't have to be so delicate with them. So I'll come down here and I'll trim this out first. The things we do to make a card. Well, to be fair, I showed off all my stuff before I started making cards, and I did show you guys how to make that background. So it's an extra long live. If you're watching the replay, look, I'm not offended if you watch me at double speed. I watch everyone at double speed. Everyone. So, folks, if you make videos, just know that people like me who watch double speed, if your music's really fast already, it's gonna sound crazy. Because I know a lot of people like play music or um, have music playing while they're talking. So I make sure I get all those biggie parts out of my way first before I go for the smaller parts where I could easily bend the design that I don't want to do. I don't want to bend. Now I can just come around the outside. And I'm going to leave that one little white space. Well, maybe I won't. Maybe I won't. I don't have to because I can leave. I can obviously I'm going to lose some of my little splotches, but that's okay. This is just a demo. It's not like I'm making a card for the Queen of England. I should check the chat, huh? Bye, Dawn. Oh, yeah, I know. Oh, yeah. So Dawn won't be live with me tomorrow. I probably won't go live tomorrow either. I'm going to be live Saturday with Mike on Lynn's channel, LV Handcrafted. That's going to be so much fun, I think. And almost done here. Since I don't have my partner in crime tomorrow, I was thinking I'd show you guys how to do what I just showed you how to do earlier. Okay, so here's this tiny little part, and obviously this thing's wiggling all over the place, so I'm just going to be extra careful and hang on to it. And voila, he's cut out. So how's that going to go on here? I need my tweezers. Now that I have this laying there, I can't pick it up. So I have in some areas, but not others. So he could go something like inside of there, but I think I need something for him to be floating on. So I am going to grab, I think I'm going to grab my snow flurries. This thing's almost dry. And I'm going to grab my white ink spluter. And I'm just going to create some clouds for him to kind of be standing in, like fog almost. Let's see here. Need some to come up behind him. Take care, Dawn. Take care of your heart. Oh, I got white on my black. Okay, I gotta get that off. This white will stick to everything. We don't want it on our black. All right, let's put this guy together. See, I got it everywhere because I'm a sloppy slop. Yeah, Dawn's helping her. Her friend's moving away tomorrow, so it's going to be a very busy and emotional morning for her. I'm going to just add some glue in where these trees are, but I'm not going to go too deep down there because I kind of want to tuck him in down there. Hey, mister. Can have him kind of. He doesn't have any feet. He's obviously a floating guy. I think I'm going to have him floating just a little off to the side. Hey, Danny. Just about done here. Sorry about that. Typically, I'm done in an hour. I don't even know what time it is. Okay. Not bad. I didn't go over too bad. Let's place him kind of in here a little bit more. See, he should have been, to me, he should have been a little bit more purpley, but we're going to live with it. Just want to tuck that little piece of his thing in. Get him straight. There we have kind of our little wizard and kind of a constellation background tucked into black trees. Oh, good. Yeah, I hope you guys can all come on Saturday to Lynn's channel to see us. Thanks. I'm not gonna glue it down yet. Typically I won't. I need to do a sentiment on it maybe, and I might go in and do some more coloring on this guy, but definitely time-wise, I've used up more of your time than I should have. So, and I owe Cordelia a card, and I didn't, I'm not gonna send out the cards I made on Lynn's Live the other night. I'm gonna send out, better cards. Not that there was anything wrong with the cards I made, but right? Yeah, you just never know. Use your stuff anyway. And here's how these are dry now, so they're definitely usable for backgrounds. You could add more ink to them. They are more water resistant than a typical ink blended or smushed. But oh, one more thing I wanted to show you guys. Something cool. Where is it? Check it out. So I figured out a way to make Simon Hurley slime. I've got time Saturday is going to be at 4 p.m. Central. Um, Let me get it all shook down here. I've just mixed a little bit of water with the dart frog, and I can make little wormies. That's with the lunar paste, the dart frog lunar paste. So don't forget. Can I show you how to complete the deli papers? Yeah, I mean, basically, once it's dry, it's done. I'll show you the one that's drying. Um, so yeah, you could use any kind of paper that's, translucent. You could do it on regular paper too if you wanted to, but I like it on translucent because you can choose your colors. So here it is. It's still pretty wet, but it's starting to dry up on the corners. If I take, let me just make sure that I don't have anything heat sensitive here. I don't know what I did with my other magnets. There we go. There's one. Here's one. Let's go ahead and dry this pretty much. I know, yeah, she did kind of disappear, and I feel bad for her, but I think, you know, I mean, stuff happens, especially in a family business. Let me get a corner of this dry, a corner or so dry, so I can show you how to lift it off of here. This inside of here is way too wet still, and I can dab it some. Won't hurt it because we're, in the same color family, and it'll give it a little texture. Just dab that. What kind of nest does she have? What's going on? What? Wait a minute. Now you're freaking me out. What's going on? Oh, she's got spiders, I bet, huh? So I use this to dry it. If I'm going to manually dry these, because it's so much fun to watch it bubble. So when it starts to bubble up like that, then you know you can start to peel it up and it won't tear. Sometimes it will. If it's too wet, it'll tear. And also you can burn it, so you have to be careful. Don't linger in one spot too long. Ooh, I like the color it changed right there where I burned it. But I'm not going to start a fire just to make color. Or am I? Oh my gosh, Elizabeth, you poor thing. Oh my gosh. Even me, and I like spiders. That would freak me out. I don't even like a fly landing on me. So that edge is kind of dry. So I'll just take, like, for instance, typically I'll use my tweezers because I use them for everything. And I'll just kind of get them up underneath here. See, it's torn right there, so I want to be careful that I don't tear it more. You don't want to try to lift it while it's wet, though. But you can loosen the edge there. And if it's wet, you're going to tear it. See where I burned it, where I got it too hot? It's stuck to the paper. So that's why it's better to let it air dry. And then you just basically you peel it back. Here it's going to tear because I burned it on there. That wax will melt. There we go. That's just a tiny tear. Just peel it off. And I'm not going to try to peel all the way up to there because that's way too wet. Oh, yeah. So, definitely play with this. Use napkins, use tissue paper, try colored tissue paper, try deli paper, whatever you have on hand. Um, Again, it's best, and if you're doing it like on butcher paper, then you can take it somewhere. You don't have to, you're not stuck with it. And like I said, I just took mine and hung it out on the clothesline. But that's one thing that happened with this one was when it was on the clothesline, it started dripping. So it's got a lot of drips that I didn't really want. I didn't want the drips in there. I wanted kind of more delineated color. Because this one came off of this napkin that Elizabeth sent me. So I thought that I would do this napkin next and have some coordinating rippy paper. Oh, poor Elizabeth. All right. Yes, I used to do these on silicone mats, but the problem is that I used up all my mats and I need my mats. So they work great on silicone. They work great on these. Now the silicone mats, they do have a texture to them and it does pick up that texture. Maybe you want that. Yeah, it'll make great butterflies. So that's why I found that I really like this paper for it is because there's no texture on the other side. And I probably have some around here that have the texture. But see, this is still wet, so I don't want to keep pulling on it because it will. But this is, the translucency of it when it's done. Listen, guys, thanks for coming and hanging out with me, and especially on extra long session. Um, Yeah, I'm kind of sad because this Snow Flurries has probably been my favorite pigmenting pad, and I can't get it anymore. But I feel like it works great for white. Um, And I guess I'll see you guys around on the next person. Yeah, stained glass windows, you bet. Absolutely. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Jim. Thanks everybody. Hopefully I'll see you on Lynn's channel Saturday. I have decided I'm not going to go live tomorrow morning. So you guys enjoy your Friday. Hopefully I'll see some of you over on Crap Roulette tomorrow night. Who's going to be on there? Karen Berniston? I forget. Um, you guys take care, and I'll see you around. Thanks a bunch.